Well, huge swaths of the southeastern U.S. are still reeling from the destruction and flooding brought on by Hurricane Helene, even as another major hurricane, Milton, barrels toward the Florida coast. And in some of the hardest hit areas in Georgia and North Carolina, voting plans have been severely disrupted just 29 days away from the presidential election. Let's get straight to our investigative reporter, Olivia Rubin, for more. So, Olivia, what are the biggest obstacles right now that's being posed to voters in certain places?
Yeah, well, it is a huge obstacle, Kira, and a number of election officials that I have spoken to are extremely concerned about this. So just to sort of set the scene for you a little bit, to think about the voters, you have a group of people that are in a disaster zone, many of them who don't have electricity, who don't have cell phone service, who have no access to water, roads impassable, USPS, which is, plays a huge part in the election, unable to reach some areas. Many voters also displaced entirely, potentially living in different counties from where they are supposed to vote. So think about those people, Kira, and how they are supposed to now get their voter registrations and potentially vote early, which in North Carolina starts in just 10 days. So a number of obstacles for those people, but it's also the election workers, Kira. These are people who themselves are displaced, who are now coming in to try to put on an election in a disaster zone. Many places where polling locations may have been wiped out or have significant damage. So a number of issues on both sides.
So North Carolina today approved these changes to hopefully make it easier for voters hit by Helene. So what exactly was done?
Really critical changes here, Kira. They include allowing voters to return absentee ballots to other counties. So think about those people we were talking about who are just displaced. They're not living in their counties and their homes anymore. So they are now allowed to return their absentee ballots to any other election office in the county. Poll workers, remember, these are people that are supposed to be working the election, now faced in the disaster zone themselves. They can now work in different counties. So think about the other counties in North Carolina kind of working together to help those 13 counties that have been affected. They can now send poll workers there to other counties to work. And also voter registrations, Kira. Some of those 13 counties that have been hit by Hurricane Helene are drowning in voter registrations that they cannot process in time. So now other counties are now being called in to try to help them. So it's really the broad picture here. It's not just voting. It's everything that it takes to get to election day. Election workers work for months to get to the election. So now this is an effort to try to come in just 4 weeks before and make sure that registrations, early voting, absentee, all of that can work together. Again, early voting just starting in 10 days.
All right, Olivia Rubin, appreciate it. Thank you.